So, Jodi, as we enter 2026, what are some of the trends that you are seeing that job seekers should be aware? And I know the elephant in the room is AI, using AI in, customizing, or even I heard recently there are some softwares AI apply that you upload your resume and the AI will customize your application, apply on your behalf, and maybe even answer emails from a recruiter. So, what should
Yeah.
job seekers be aware in the job search 2026?
Yeah, I think it's exactly what you said is some of those AI tools. Like, listen, I get it in terms of like AI, if it helps you sort of like tailor your resume and get a little bit more specific, I would say use it to your discretion,
Yeah.
but don't let AI do the entire process for
Yeah.
you and or create your entire resume
Mhm.
because guess what? Recruiters can see, they
Yeah.
can tell. They can tell when something is AI versus not AI,
Yeah.
and or when you
The
use the
words are like crazy, like words that you cannot even
right.
pronounce.
And it's not even readable to the human eye,
Yeah.
right? And so if you are going to use AI, use it in a way where, it can be helpful for you, but
Mhm.
also use your own editing
Yeah.
skills to take a look and just verify each point, verify the information for yourself. I would say, when it comes to the trends
Mhm.
that I'm seeing. Certainly, there are quite a few positions actually coming out now that does incorporate a lot of AI. So I would say if you haven't already, taken any like courses or, watched any videos or anything like that, I would say get up to date on, AI strategy. What does that look like in practicality and just keeping up to date in your
Mhm.
industry and what does the AI implications mean for your specific
Yeah.
industry as well too. I've been seeing personally a lot of roles in like digital communication, marketing, all of that good stuff. And again, with a twist of AI as well
Yeah.
too. So some of those sectors can also be helpful. And really the fields that AI is not necessarily going to disrupt is more of like those human-centered
Yes.
fields,
Yeah.
right? So those fields where like you do need a human person
Yeah.
to be able to, connect other people, or it's just a human-centered job. So
Yeah.
jobs like you and I have
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
to be able to help to support people. So those are some things I would say to be aware of is, like sort of like the AI implications. I would say in general, when it comes to again, taking a look at your field, where can you upskill?
Hmm.
Right. So a lot of the times what I tell my clients to do sometimes is really taking a look at some of the trends in the job postings that
Yeah.
you're seeing. Are employers requiring certain skill sets? Do you need to have, certain knowledge of certain like software? And if you don't have that knowledge yet, I would say go ahead and be proactive and start to upskill in some of those areas, right? LinkedIn Learning is a great tool
Yeah.
to really help you upskill. YouTube, I call it
Yeah.
YouTube University,
Yeah.
is free, right? You can take a look at that. There's a whole bunch of also like Google certification programs
Mhm.
as well too.
Yes.
For digital marketing, there's like HubSpot. There's so many different things that are
Yeah.
out there. So I would say stay up to date on trends in your field.
Mhm.
Do some research to really understand, like, okay, what are some of the things that I really need in my field? And really going back to those conversations that you're also going to be having when you're doing your job search, really connecting with folks to really understand, where is the industry going? What are some of the trends that you're seeing? What are some of the skill sets that employers are looking for
Yeah.
within this field as well, too? So that's another reason to get connected to folks is to really understand what is going on in your field and what are some of the things coming
Mhm.
out of there. So I would say really pay attention
Yeah.
to those things.
And one finally, what about, let's say, people are applying for a job, but then they
Mhm.
also want to connect with the hiring manager and the recruiters. And we both know that hiring managers and recruiters are bombarded with so much requests. The I
Yeah.
applied, I'm interested, this is my resume, I'm your guy. Do you recommend to reach out to them? And if yes, what they should write in the connection message?
Yeah, and I think it really depends on, like why you're sort of reaching out. Of course, if there is a role, I would say your best bet is to try to connect with the talent acquisition professional, the one that is actually putting out the post, so they can kind of field some of the messages, but to also be targeted in terms of like what is your ask,
Hmm.
right? Because a lot of the times the instructions are in the job posting.
Yeah,
Right. And so maybe it could be a nice message around, I saw this role, I applied. Thank you so much for posting. Maybe it's just a thank you
yeah,
message,
mm,
right? Thank you for posting this. Like, I think this position is really suited towards my skills and just kind of like
yeah.
leave it at that,
Leave it that way.
right?
Yeah.
There is no reason for anybody to kind of go in saying like, "Hey, like I want this job," and kind of having a conversation like with like that because it's very transactional.
Yeah.
So, unless if you have a specific question
Hmm.
around the posting that is not already answered in the posting,
Yeah.
then I would say the reason you're kind of reaching out to the talent acquisition professional is to either ask that specific question, and or maybe you're just sending a quick thank you note to say
Hmm.
like, thank you for posting this. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
In terms of like hiring managers, it kind of depends.
Depends.
Again, we're going back to that, that sentiment of like building those relationships
Hmm.
before you need it. So if you're kind of just going in, oh, okay, this is the job that's posted. Hi, I'm so and so. Please hire me. That's not the best
No,
strategy,
no.
right? So going back to like, what is your purpose
Yeah.
for reaching out? So really having an idea of like, what is your purpose for reaching out and being targeted in that messaging
Yeah.
as well too.
I always tell them maybe do a SWOT analysis and set them, hey,
Uh,
I know that you are hiring for this role. This is my take, or I can bring to the table.
yes.
Or I always tell them if you talk about money, profit, and
Yes.
making, time, that will spark the eyes of recruiter or hiring manager. Oh, this
Yeah.
guy knows what he's talking about. This is something different, right? So try
Mhm.
to distinguish yourself by doing something for them, like solving a problem that you see in them,
Yeah.
that could be done.
Again, going back to your value, what is it that you're offering? What is it that you're bringing to the
Hmm.
table? And a part of it as well too, and I would say for most folks, before the job posting even comes
Yeah.
out, right? Get targeted in terms of like what are the specific companies that you
Mhm.
would like love to work for?
Yeah.
What are the specific companies that you would love to work for? And maybe reaching out before there is a position
Yeah.
posted and having like a nice, message in there for the
Mhm.
talent acquisition recruiter or the hiring message to just really just talk about, what you admire about the company or something to that effect. But really, it's about building those relationships before you even get there. And that's why I'm a big fan of having the clarity, going back to the clarity, having that clarity, understanding, what sort of companies you would ideally want to work for. And then you're curating these relationships around some of those companies as
Yeah.
well, too. And maybe you're even finding out like what events are some of these folks
Mhm.
going to so
Yeah.
that you can make yourself known, present, and visible.
Yeah. Thank you, Jodi. And with that, my interview comes to an end. I really enjoyed the conversation, very practical tips. And for the audience, if you haven't watched all the previous videos, you can watch them. And if you have any questions, you can reach out, make comments, and tune in next time for other great guests I'm preparing for you guys. And again, Jodi, thank you very much. Bye, everyone.